What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we're driving around in the 2016 Dodge Charger Scat Pack. This one, of course, is in Plum Crazy, which is my favorite color from Dodge, past, present, or future. This is my favorite color. And yeah, I just want to give y'all some of my thoughts on stuff that's been happening in the automotive world and on YouTube here, and some of the crazy stuff that we've seen recently with some other big YouTubers, really. And the first thing I wanted to go into here was, I'm not throwing any shade here, right? I'm just trying to give you all the thoughts on what's been happening and my perspective on things. And yeah, hopefully y'all have some comments on this. Leave them down below if you do. But the first thing I wanted to kind of go into was, I saw on social media that Jake Schnatter actually crashed his Lamborghini Huracan, the green one that he had with the twin turbo, the wheels and everything. And that was so sad to see. That was honestly so devastating. Obviously, everyone is safe and there was nobody else involved, so we're super thankful that that's the case. But talking about the car and in the automotive terms, it's so devastating to see a beautiful car like that just completely destroyed to the point where it's just not worth the money to repair. At least that's kind of the vibe right now. And yeah, you know, it sucks because it's another reason why some of these cars are going to keep going up in price, is because they do eventually get crashed and they get taken out of the, you know, total number of cars out there. And so the scarcity is going to drive the price up, which sucks because I'd love to be able to purchase one of those in the near future. But also so happy that he's safe. So that was wild. It really sucks that that car is kind of gone now. It was actually, that spec is a very close spec to the exact same dream car that I have in the Lamborghini Huracan kind of model. I absolutely love those cars, and I really like the green. And I think my garage is missing some green. So I would have loved to have that. Maybe on to buying it. Maybe we'll repair it or do something. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a really sad story this week with him crashing his Lambo. And the second thing I saw this week that was actually kind of insane was the fact that Whistlin Diesel, Cody, got arrested for some kind of BS tax evasion. So if anyone who doesn't know the story, Whistlin Diesel, one of the biggest YouTubers, automotive YouTubers on this platform, decided to buy a Ferrari, an F8 Ferrari, and he does these durability tests where he kind of exaggerates the kind of, you know, wear and tear that you might have in a car. And you know, basically, you should go watch that video if you haven't seen it, but basically what ended up happening was the F8 Ferrari ended up spontaneously combusting into flames at the end of the video, kind of, you know, destroying the car completely and totally. Yeah, so that was actually really sad to see. But the Ferrari spontaneously combusted, kind of culminating at the end of the video, which completely destroyed the car. And now this car had Montana license plates on them. So everyone who's not aware, Montana is a no sales tax state, and so by having an LLC or some kind of business entity or a residence in Montana, you can register your cars under that, and if you do that, there's no sales tax, which for a Ferrari could mean $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in taxes that you can kind of just not pay, right? If you have this loophole, I guess you'd call it. And apparently the story is that they just showed up one day in the morning and arrested him. No letters, no warning, no even hint that this was going to be a problem. And it's wild. This is probably the worst person to target with a avoiding tax or, you know, a tax evasion lawsuit, specifically because he is so good at grabbing attention online and with an audience that he's going to make this entire court and this entire municipal district look like a freaking clown. They're going to look like fools. You know, like, he's probably going to bring the killdozer out to the courthouse. He's probably going to have a lot of people there supporting him in the court case. And it's just one of those things that I'm not really sure they thought this through on who they were targeting for tax evasion. He pays millions of dollars in tax every year to his, I think it's Tennessee, small municipality, and they go after him for, let's say, a $40,000 tax evasion on a Ferrari. It's something where I feel like the priorities are just misaligned, and they might be trying to force a wave of these kind of convictions to happen throughout the state if, you know, there's a lot of these cases where in Tennessee they have people who have supercars who are trying to evade the taxes by registering their cars in Montana. I'm not really sure. It was something that I saw this week that I'm going to keep very close eyes on, just because I feel like that court case is going to go and just be blown up out of proportion because of the way that Cody's able to capture attention and to rally a lot of people kind of for his causes. So that's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I also don't know how I feel about the whole not warning or no hint, right, that this might be happening. Cody has the money to hire a legal team, and so you could have easily just reached out to a business manager or gotten in touch with him professionally that, hey, like, this is happening. Instead, you have this shock and awe of, you know, getting arrested in the wee hours of the morning. Obviously, that only benefits him, right? That only benefits his situation in terms of content creation. But it is quite scary to know that the government's just going to come in and arrest you like that. And yeah, so those are the two automotive stories that we've got this week. The third one's a little bit more boring, but I would say that it is kind of exciting, especially if you're a Ford fanboy. Ford actually moved headquarters this week, and so they opened their brand new headquarters. They're going to end up demolishing the glass house that they have previously. For the last around 70 or 80 years, they had the HQ building, the big old glass house in Dearborn. They only moved like 10 or 15 miles away, but the new headquarters is freaking insane. I got a couple buddies that work over at Ford, and yeah, all new facilities, all new meeting rooms, conference rooms, brand new cafeteria, the gym, all of the amenities you would want in a modern headquartered office, they have. And so that's really cool to see, just with Ford continuing to invest in their company, invest in their people. Hopefully you guys like some of this stuff that I get to talk about on some of these drives. I'm hoping to get a couple more camera angles, not only inside the car, but outside the car, so you can hear some of the noises that this car is making, the sweet, sweet noises of the exhaust. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you soon for some more content. Peace!